While I won't be doing a full breakdown of the upcoming matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles, I did at least want to talk about the run game for both of these teams and the impact of their leading rushers, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. Both Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley have been absolute juggernauts and game changers for their respective teams this season, and Sunday afternoon they're going to face each other, or at least their team's defense, for the first time this season. As it stands right now, either Henry or Barkley lead the NFL in 7 of the 10 recorded stats for rushing. Barkley has attempts, yards, yards per attempt, and yards per game, while Henry has touchdowns, rushing first downs, and the longest rush of the season. Overall, Barkley has accounted for 38.5% of the entire Eagles' offensive yards, producing 1,649 from scrimmage, which also leads the league. Meanwhile, Henry has accounted for 27.7% of the Ravens' total offensive yardage, producing 1,421 from scrimmage, which is second in the league. With all this being said, the run game for both of these teams is more than just Barkley and Henry, with both quarterbacks and backup running backs contributing heavily. So let's take a look at how the run game for both of these teams will factor into this matchup. Let's get to it. Welcome in, everyone. This is Jordan with Ravens Flash Report. If you enjoy this quick video breakdown, give it a like. If you're new around here, subscribe. And down below in the comments section, tell me which run game you think will dominate the most on Sunday. The Ravens' top 3 rushers have produced 2,109 yards and 17 touchdowns off 364 carries. The Eagles, for comparison, have run the ball 389 times for 2,070 yards and 22 touchdowns. Basically, these teams are the clear number 1 and number 2 rushing teams in the league, and it really is a toss-up as to which one is 1 and which one is 2. The Ravens' top 3 are averaging 5.4 yards per carry for roughly 30 times a game and 175.7 yards per game on the ground. The Eagles average a bit lower yards per carry at 4.9, but since they run the ball over 35 times a game usually, they end up averaging nearly 188 yards per game on the ground. I think what separates these two from a rushing game plan perspective is how their different top 3 rushers utilize their different skill sets. Barkley is a do-it-all back who rushes great anywhere on the field while also operating as an excellent receiver out of the backfield. Derrick Henry has a workhorse mentality combined with big play explosiveness and top-end speed, but is not nearly the pass catcher Barkley is. This is where Justice Hill comes into play as both a change of pace back who has his own explosiveness, but is heavily used as a pass blocker and pass catcher out of the backfield. Barkley is more than capable of operating in the red zone, but Jalen Hurts' ability to score with the ball in his hands is what makes the Eagles' offense so difficult to deal with, and why Hurts is so efficient with his yardage and scoring opportunities. Lamar Jackson has Derrick Henry in the backfield, and so the team doesn't rely on him to score as much, but that opens up his opportunities between the 20s and on third downs, which give him the opportunity to gain more yardage with his legs. With Barkley and Hurts doing so much of the work, Kenneth Gainwell is a great back who possesses rushing and receiving abilities, and therefore plenty capable of stepping in to give the other two a break. The Ravens seem to have slightly more defined roles for their top 3 rushers. Derrick Henry and Lamar are both big play threats. Henry is the red zone weapon, and Hill is the main receiving option. For the Eagles, they seem to rely more on Saquon for both rushing and receiving everywhere on the field, asking Hurts to do most of his damage closer to the goal line. With the Ravens and Eagles defenses both in the top 10 in the league against the run, and going against their own rushing offenses in practice, it's anyone's guess which rushing attack will perform better this Sunday. With my perspective on this game coming from that of a Ravens fan, I have a few thoughts for the offense and defense going into this game. For the offense, I think it's necessary to keep Derrick Henry involved throughout the entire game, not just in the first half and not just as a closer to hopefully burn clock. Also, while it is important to use Henry throughout the game, don't forget about Justice Hill and how they shouldn't become Henry equals run and Hill equals pass. For the defense against Barkley, there is obviously no simple solution, otherwise another team would have come up with one. And they clearly haven't, as Barkley is having his best year ever and has only been held to under 100 yards in 4 games. The best way I see the Ravens dealing with Barkley is the same way they dealt with Christian McCaffrey last year with the 49ers. He got his, but no one else did much of anything, and they brought pressure all night long against Brock Purdy. If the Ravens can score quickly and often against this Eagles defense and make the use of Barkley on the ground a less attractive option, we may see less of him, and that's the best way to deal with him. Anyway, I just wanted to get this short video out to mention some of my thoughts and views on the run game for both of these teams. This game is a toss up to me, but I think that the Ravens playing at home and getting back to their own running roots will give them an edge. I hope you all enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment your thoughts on this matchup down in the comment section below. As always, guys, stay safe out there and go Ravens.